sure everybody here knows a story or two about it, is the founders who pass the business to their children, and their children did not keep them in the standard that they were accustomed to. The founders who passed the business to their children, and when they did so, they ceded all financial responsibility to their children. So they now, when they were in charge of all the finances, are no longer in charge of the finances. They find themselves, which for the founder, even thinking about, right, causes some tension, before, whether or not it happens or not. Thinking about going to the successors and saying, look, you know what? We need money to do this. We need money to do that. And there have been cases where, as these myths and legends go, that this is something that actually happened. And people look at them and say, wow, look at them. And now look at the situation they're in with their children and so on. One of the things you can take from this is that before succession happens, you have to put certain systems in place to ensure that your income stream, the founder's income stream, remains constant before succession happens. And this can happen in many ways. One of those ways is diversification. So you say, look, you know what? My successors run this, and when I've diversified, I'm taking charge of this. Another way it happens, like I know this particular example, is the parents said, look, you know what? I'm seeing the business to you, you can have charge of business, but you have to pay me a rent for the premises. And so they now have an income stream for the rest of life, the rent from the premises and so on. Another dark side of the family business is squandermania. Squandermania is akin to keeping up with the Joneses, where siblings decide, look, you know what? I bought a 7 Series, so I'm now, the other sibling says, I'm now entitled to a Mercedes-Benz, right? And this can lead to something akin to an arms race, which depletes the funds from the family business. Again, systems have to be put in place because you know what? You're not supposed to live your life out of the cash flow of the family business. You're not supposed to live your life out of the cash register. And that's where proper accounting principles come in. The bright side of family business is success. I'm sure this is something everyone wants here. If you have a family business or you're planning to start a family business or you're in the process of growing a family business, it is success and the enjoyment of calling the shots on your business. The enjoyment of the authority that goes with it. The enjoyment of having the entire family around you and sharing the success and so on. That is one of the bright sides of family business. And that's why, in a sense, I'm passionate about family businesses as well. I like family businesses.
Thank you. I think I won't really call it a dark side, but one of the things in the past with family business is that the way the lessons had to be passed on to the successor. Some of it was by experience. The children would come into the business, and we would work side by side with the parents, the founders, most times the parents, right? Until they get to a certain stage and they take the business over. But you run a risk with that. The risk being that it's either they learned the lessons or they did not learn the lessons. If they didn't learn the lessons, the business is going to fail. Right? There was no, you spoke about earlier about educating the children and so on. And that was the goal of the family business, to make sure they educate the children. So you send your child to university to study astrophysics. And when he finished, he had to come back in the family business, which is, I don't know, a restaurant or something like that, right? But it satisfied the goal of the family, right? And I think, you know, now in Trinidad and Tobago, the economy, the social setting has grown. I mean, the landscape has grown in terms of, apart from the economy, education and so on. And you see a mushrooming of opportunities for people to go and study and so on. And people are now understanding and appreciating that business, a business person, is a professional in its own right, just as a doctor, a lawyer, you know. And when now people recognize that if you send your children to study business and how business works, the principles of business, then they could come in. The more open, and there's a greater chance of the business succeeding. So I wouldn't say the dark side, I would say that's one of the challenges. In terms of the bright side, a family business is your legacy. People, I mean, many people, their names on their family business, and that is your self-esteem. That is your legacy. That's what you're going to leave, you know. And I think for a founder to look back and see, you know, this is my contribution to society. This is my contribution to my community. This is my contribution to my family. I think there's a bright spot in it.
Thank you, Vincent. Renee?
I'm not sure I could add too much more. I think let's kind of beat the horse of what is the dark side. I think, in a way, it's a result of the catalyst of a dark side. Again, is succession. I think succession, or the lack of succession, brings out anxiety in the family unit. You may have strong family units, very close siblings and so on, but lack of succession, on people being unsure of their role in the business, if there's a role, how much of a role, the pressures in waiting, and the lack of planning brings out something the worst in people. So even and again, this is probably from experience in some of the work I do in consulting. I've seen some fairly bad situations where you have, to me, what I would call good, strong family units, but succession being delayed for very human and very kind of normal reasons, creating tensions where there were not initially, and creating dysfunction. Every family, every single family has little weak links and little tensions, but that uncertainty makes the tensions even more. And it brings a lot of negative behavior and jockeying for position. And that's when sibling rivalries that started off just kind of bantering become very serious. And so I think that is the dark side. But I think, like everything else, dark sides come. Now, if you have a dysfunctional family from the beginning, well, that's kind of it. And again, dysfunctional families actually, I mean, I'm not casting a skate in that way. Dysfunctional families can do business very well, you know, because they can say, people bad mind, they say, I grow in this business, I can get this division, I can do better than this one. And people succeed. So, you know, I'm not trying to I try to make moral judgments about people's things, but they have dysfunctional families. I think the overall goal, no one really, in general, wants dysfunction in their family. I think that's the dark side, and like it can be prevented. It's a little bit of planning, but again, it's human. It's difficult to plan sometimes for when you're not going to be around. The bright side, I think it's been said many, many times before, is I think success. But to me, I mean, I guess it's different because I'm the founder of one business, and legacy through my family. There are other businesses as well. I've never seen success as something to enjoy by yourself. That's just probably a personal thing. It's something to share with other people and people who are close to you. So to me, there's nothing greater than sharing success with your family, because what else is the fun in nobody else being happy, family and being that happy for you? And also with people who got you there. The people who got you there are going to be the cashiers, the drivers, the salespeople, and so on. So in the end, they're the ones who got you there too. So their success is your success. So I think that is, to me, even the most bright side of a family business success is the impact you've made on not just your life and your family life, but I think everyone's life. And I mean, and hopefully you touch, if you're successful, you touch communities as well.